Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch My Hero Academia Season 8, Episode 4 today. I still have the COVID. Last time that I saw you, I think that I was in denial. You know, it was the first day of my symptoms, and in fact, I discovered that I had the COVID just like 1 hour before filming, and for sure I had an high fever, but that was the only symptom. So I think that I was still in denial, and I had so many things to do during the day that I didn't want to think too much about it. Guys, after that I spent almost fully, you know, 3 entire days into my bed, at least on my couch, on my bed, not moving, not being able to move a lot, because high fever, like really, a high fever that even the medications couldn't make go down, but also the level of fatigue was so high that was difficult for me to think, to focus on something, and even to talk. I had the impression each time to have a tomato, you know, a potato into my mouth, you know, to have trouble to articulate things. So that was really hard. And right there, as you can see me, it's my day number 6, you know, of the COVID, of the symptoms. And luckily my fever finally went down, and that is so great. But the level of fatigue is still present. I think that you can feel it. For sure, I still have my nose blocked, but that I can't, you know, do anything about it. At some point, just it needs to pass, and that it doesn't change really what I do into my days and all. It's mostly the fatigue which is so annoying for me, and right there I'm still with it. So because of that, guys, I prefer to warn you that during the intro and the review I might talk less than usually. I'm gonna still continue to analyze, to talk about the things that I saw during the previous episode. During this episode, you know me, I love to talk about that kind of things, but maybe it's gonna be shorter than usually. Some people are gonna be glad about it, and if it's the case, you're not nice, like really, to think like that. If I forget something important, you know, that happened during the episode and that I wanted to talk about, I'm gonna talk about it into the description. You know, during the editing, I'm gonna see that I forgot about it, so I will talk about it into the description. And yes, during the episode, maybe it's gonna take me more time to process some informations, you know, for the information to come from my screen to my eyes to my brain. It's gonna take more seconds. So I'm sorry for that, you know, if you have a Laura with a little like, it means that that gap, you know, between the action and the moment when I realize that information, what just happened, something like that. Luckily, nothing really bad is gonna happen. It's not like it's the final season, and in fact they can kill a character just like that in 1 second. For sure, I have tissues prepared, you know, but it's mostly because I'm sick, not because I'm prepared to cry. I'm not prepared to cry today, to be fully honest with you. With what happened during the previous episode and the fact that Bakugo intervened to save All Might, I feel so proud of my boy, of his evolution. From the Bakugo that we had in season 1 and the Bakugo that we have right now, my boy evolved so much, and at the same time, when All Might gave him, you know, his arm, his last ability thing, Bakugo smiled after that. He was really the little kid watching his mentor and being like, oh, you believe in me? You just gave that to me. Like that smile. I could die for that smile. Like, it was so sweet. And yes, I feel so proud of him. But at the same time, right now, he's facing the master, and for sure, I'm scared for him, even if I want to believe into him, and I think that it's right, in fact, that Bakugo is gonna fight the master while Deku is facing his own enemy. I have the emotion that it's the two fights that we needed to have since the beginning, and All Might himself said it, that together they can do great and they can really change everything when they are fighting together on the same side, you know. So yes, everything made sense in fact during the previous episode and was so great, but at the same time we are currently into such a bad situation, such important, violent fights, that I have the impression that everything can happen, a lot of bad things can happen. During the previous episode we had a little resume of the situation, which is not that bad because in fact a lot of the fights that we have everywhere are done, almost totally over. We have one which is still going on and they can't find a solution, you know, to close it, to really do something about it. So maybe we're gonna spend at least one episode with that situation. I don't know if it's gonna happen right now or not, but for the rest it's gonna be mostly about these two fights, you know, against the master and against Shigaraki. But All Might didn't die, and that, such a surprise, you know. Again, you know my mojo about the fact that the mentor has to die at some point for the hero to shine on their own, and I thought that it would be it. I forgot about Bakugo, that Bakugo would come back. Let's go guys, let's go for this episode. Remember that if you want, you have my Patreon on which you can have these reaction videos earlier, one day earlier, and you have them with the full reaction part, my reactions and my thoughts to everything, to the entire episode, in full opacity. It's with the level 3 on my Patreon. It's the best way to support me, my Patreon, so that's why I'm working hard to give you advantages in exchange. And right now on YouTube, remember that you have the intro and review part, but for the reaction part, it's through a link into the description. It's not what I did for the binge watching, you know, that I made of My Hero Academia for all of these seasons, but it's something that I'm forced to do for this final season, just to be sure that for my channel to survive, you know, to not have any threat on my channel. This video, you know, on the description is still respecting the fair use rules, like it was the case when I was posting it, you know, right now on YouTube, because I want to be respectful with the studios, with everyone, and to respect the fair use rules. So if you really want everything, you know, my thoughts and all my reactions to everything, it's on my Patreon. Okay guys, let's go for this episode. Me and my COVID. I don't know if we are ready for this episode. We'll see. Let's go. I'm so fucking proud. I'm so fucking proud of Bakugo, and for so many reasons. Oh, I didn't think I would cry during this episode. Right now, I can't blame the COVID. It's really just me, my emotions, and my tears. I'm so fucking proud of Bakugo, and not only because right there he just killed, destroyed, finished the most important, dangerous villain that this universe knew all by himself. I mean, I'm gonna come back to it. Right there facing him, it was only Bakugo. I'm not just proud because of that. I'm proud because how he did it and what he said, you know, how he reacted doing it and all, shows how much he evolved, he changed for his way to see fights and all. Bakugo from season 1, it was me, I can do it, I'm the best, you're no one, if I win it's just because of me, I don't need any of you, I need no help, all of that. When right there, facing that big villain, being about to kill him, managing to get him, you know, to make that trap for him with the tears, the explosions, everything, and at the end, managing to stay strong, you know, to resist one more time to that final attack, you know, from that baby. It was him, all by himself, he did it during that moment. But for him, during that moment, Bakugo thought of the fact that he couldn't be here if it was not because of all of the rest, you know, all of the others who are still fighting for him to be able to be there during that moment. He thought of his family, of his parents, of the day that he was born, you know, he thought of his friends, he thought of really everyone and everything which made him who he is and which made him, you know, finish right there during that moment and being ready for that fight. He thought also about the fact that if he can fight the master during that moment, it's because of all of the other ones around him fighting as well. Bakugo facing his best and worst enemy, and also in fact his best victory, his most impressive victory, didn't think about himself, and he thought about everyone, and that it was a collective fight and a collective win. Can you imagine Bakugo from season 1 thinking like that, saying something like that? He would have never done it. He would have never said something like that. So for sure I'm proud of him because he managed to fight the master. He listened, you know, to what All Might said about maybe you can do stuff like that. He used also All Might's last strength, you know, with that arm like that. So, you know, they thought about it in common, but at the end it's truly him who did all of that, and it's also him who was that strong, that brave to face the master, to not give up, to just go for it. And also, for sure, I'm proud of him because of it, but I'm even prouder of him because of his evolution and because of the fact that he immediately thought about everyone who was behind him, who helped him to finish at that moment, you know, and to be there. I'm so proud of him. I'm so fucking proud of him. And really the fact that he's finishing that fight standing still on his feet, and he's thinking about that conversation, about the fact that it shows how strong you are. You have to finish a fight truly, even in front of a baby, even in front of something. You can think that, well, that's something weak, you know, that's it, you can give up, it's truly nothing. No, a fight is not finished until really the very end of the fight. And you know, when the master, being a baby, sent him that stuff, I was like, oh, that's it? Really? We're gonna lose Bakugo on that at the end of the fight? But no! I should have trusted Bakugo, and the fact that until the end he resisted, he never forgot about what he learned during this entire time, during this entire seasons, through trainings, but also through simple conversations with his friends. He learned so many things from his teachers, from his friends, from other students, from experiences. Really, for me, this fight is a perfect conclusion for everything about Bakugo's character. Not only for the hero aspect, but also for the personality aspect, for everything. I love that so much. I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself for that. That was amazing. I'm amazed. And really after that, to finally fall, but to have his arm like that, like victory. But again, it's not the old Bakugo from season 1 being like, that's it, yatta, I did it, you know, and saying something victorious and maybe a little arrogant. No, his sentence is for Deku. That's it, you can go for it, Deku. can I say, man? I'm proud of you, Bakugo. I love you, Bakugo. I'm amazed by you. And really, the evolution of this character through this entire show is so cool, so well done, and that was a perfect conclusion for it. I loved it a lot. I didn't think that almost the entire episode, because right there I just made a long minutes just about the few last minutes of this episode, because the rest of this episode was in fact a big flashback about the master, his relationship with his brother, but that was really cool, you know, to see really where they are coming from the beginning, you know, really since they were born into their mother's belly. The fact that since the beginning you took advantage of the situation of your own mother, you know, eating her alive, and also since the beginning you thought that much that your brother was your object, toy, instrument, was there for you to satisfy you. You really owned your brother, your twin brother, since the beginning. It's awful, and it shows a lot what was their relationship since the beginning, and how the master considered him, considered everything. For sure we knew about their relationship before, but me, I really discovered really how it began, again, from the day that they were born, just right there, and it's even more meaningful. The parallel between Kudo and Bakugo is so great also. And right there it was so well done, so well shown, and the transition, you know, between the memories and the present time with Bakugo was so well done also. I love this episode. I think that since the beginning of this season it's my favorite one. Even if this season so far is amazing, with each episode being so important, so intense, with so many things happening into it, already I have the impression to cry in each episode, but I think that so far this one is my favorite because it's mixing memories, present time, it's intense, it's emotional, and it shows also the quality of how characters and stories are written in this show. So yes, I loved a lot this episode. I almost forgot that I had the COVID watching it. And also during this review, I just began saying that. I was like, that's it. I remember that I'm sick, and the fatigue really just went back into my head, being like, yes, don't worry, in 10 minutes you're gonna suffer all of the energy that you put watching this episode and during this review. See, right now you're excited and all. Let's see in 10 minutes how you're gonna be, and the nap that you're gonna take because of it. That was so good. That was so fucking good. If you really want my reactions and my thoughts to the entire episode in full opacity, it's on my Patreon, and I really think, you know, that for this final season, it's better, you know, to be on my Patreon and to spend that time with me on my Patreon, because... But for this final season, I really think that it's better to be on my Patreon, so we can have that time, you know, together, and enjoying these last moments with this show together. Yes. We have so many things to discuss about, you know, and so many things that I want to share with you, but I can't, you know, on YouTube, so yes, I think that it's better on my Patreon for that. Guys, I will see you next week for the next episode. That's it. After all of what we lived, you know, with All Might, with Bakugo, now it's gonna be what? Are we gonna go with Deku and his fight? And only that from now on? Maybe not. We'll see. And we'll see that next week. It's all for you and for me for today, so it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Hey.